Hey guys, it's Raj with Pink Chai Living. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys have been enjoying all of the recipes and food content we've been putting out for you. If you've missed the previous videos, make sure you go back and check them out. And also don't forget to subscribe because then you won't miss videos. It's very simple. So today I want to talk to you guys about what I think of as like a very classic, quintessential Punjabi recipe, and that's Karah. Now, Karah is the most basic kind of a food. It's made from 3 ingredients: flour, ghyo, and sugar. I forgot almost for a minute. That's flour, sugar, and ghyo. That is what makes up Karah. But I know a lot of us remember it from the Gurdwara when we were kids, Karah Parshad. So obviously you can never replicate something in your kitchen that's made at the Gurdwara because, you know, langar food, Gurdwara food, Parshad, they're made in a different level of faith and kind of this community preparation. So probably it'll never taste as good in my kitchen. But since we are coming up to Vaisakhi, and I know a lot of us are looking for recipes that kind of open the door for us to start conversations with our kids, I thought what better than making like a traditional Punjabi Karah that you can serve maybe on Vaisakhi as a dessert to your meal, or even as a place to start a conversation. I think it kind of connects very well to a discussion about spirituality and Vaisakhi. So with that, let's get started. So we're going to start with 1 cup of melted ghee. And the thing about making Karah that you need to remember is that the ratio is always 1 to 1 to 1. This cup measure is your best friend when it comes to making a Karah. If you're using a cup of ghyo, then you're going to use a cup of flour, a cup of sugar. That is always the ratio. It doesn't change. So I'm going to warm up this ghee just a little bit and then we'll add in our flour. So when I started to learn cooking, one of the first recipes I asked my mom to teach me, and actually one of the few recipes I can say that I learned from my mom, is how to make Karah. And that was because in my family growing up, we always made Karah like on New Year's Day, on Vaisakhi, or any sort of celebratory day. So if it was somebody's birthday in the family. In fact, my grandmother always used to, if she bought a new patila, if it was possible, she used to make Karah in it first, because she used to say, like, "Pehla mithi cheez banai di hundi hai." So it's kind of a shagan, a good luck thing, and it's such an important flavor. It's such a homely flavor, a reminder of my childhood, of all of the weekends I spent at the Gurdwara. So it's a dish that's really close to my heart. So while my ghyo is warming up here, behind me I've got our chashni going, which is a simple sugar syrup that we're going to use to bind everything together at the end and sweeten the Karah. And I'm just boiling it until it reaches about 110 degrees Celsius, or what is called 1 thread consistency. We really want to keep an eye on the temperature at this point once it started boiling, because if we take it too far, it's going to become too thick, and also too much water is going to evaporate for the next step. So now we're going to add in 1 cup of whole wheat flour. This is the flour that you want to use to make Karah. It's the way you're going to get that really nutty flavor that we're looking for. Oops. And I'm going to mix this and incorporate it in with all of the ghee. And then we're just going to keep on cooking this down for probably about 5 to 7 minutes on a medium to high heat. The key is that you want to keep stirring. You don't want this to stick to the bottom. It'll scorch really easily. So just keep stirring it. Keep a really close eye on it for the next 5 to 7 minutes. And then you'll know, your nose will actually know when this is ready. It'll give off this very nutty aroma, and the color will caramelize, and then we'll be ready for the next step. So our butter and flour mixture has gone for about 6 to 7 minutes. I think about 6.5 minutes we've had it on the stove. It's a beautiful golden caramel color. It smells delicious. This is kind of the key to any butter and flour sauce. As soon as you start smelling that nutty aroma, it's ready to either come off the stove or for the next step, which in this case is adding the chashni. So we're gonna add our chashni into our butter and flour mixture, and then we're gonna stir vigorously. So really important to keep moving. So you really want to make sure you have a sturdy pot when you do this because it's gonna move around. A heavy bottom pot is perfect for this. Takes a little bit of elbow grease, but you'll see at one point it will all just come together and it'll start pulling away from the pan, and that is when you know that it's done. And that's it. Just a few simple ingredients and a little bit of elbow grease, and we have a delicious homemade karah. I mean, actually, I've never had karah that wasn't homemade. It's the only way to make it. I hope you guys will try this recipe. I know these are the kind of recipes that can seem a bit daunting in the beginning because I feel like this is the stuff that I always feel like this is the stuff that my mom made or my nanny made, and I never had an opportunity to get in the kitchen and try how to make it. But honestly, once you start, once you try, it's not that hard, and the worst case scenario is you'll mess up a batch and you'll have to make another. Between you and me, I messed up a lot of batches before I learned this one, but trust me, you can do it if you just try and you follow the steps. If you do decide to make this recipe, definitely let me know how it turns out. I love to hear when you guys make our recipes. Also, if you're looking for other ideas for Vaisakhi crafts or recipes or, things to do with your kids, then definitely check out the blog. There are so many resources there, including our 13 days to Vaisakhi countdown calendar. And that's it for me for this time. I hope you've already subscribed. If you haven't, definitely do. And then I look forward to connecting with you in the next video.